Hi guys, here we are at Six Forks Farm, and on a windy day, a warmer day, which we're grateful for in the beginning days of December. So we're going to talk about grass today. We're also going to talk about poop. So if you don't like hearing about grass and poop, this is just kind of a warning ahead of time. So as far as the way that we're farming with a regenerative farm, we have buying hay in the winter was not in our plan, in our financial plan or our grazing plan, because the way that works is we are rotationally grazing, so we're allowing the grass to rest. So with more rest time, there's more growth and more roots that are established. So instead of cutting the hay, baling the hay, and then bringing it to them, they just eat the hay off the ground because it's a little longer and it's had more time to rest. And so that's what we're trying to do. In some areas, it's not long enough. We're having to buy some hay a little at a time here and there. But because of that, the dead grass, the brown grass, is good filler for them, for food, for the cows, for all the ruminants. But it has very little to no nutrition. It's kind of like eating rice or something like that. So it keeps their belly full. So when you have that, you have different things to look for in the poop to know how they're doing and how their health is. And we've got Lindsay here to explain just that. Okay, Lindsay, here we are. We're in front of the herd. We're filling up the water while we're waiting for that to fill. Let's talk about grass. Grass and poop. There's a couple different kinds of poop and some things to look for. So I guess let's start with the grass. Where are we going to go with the grass?
Okay, so this is what we're currently grazing. Go over here. You can see that this is basically our stockpile of what is hay. It's about 12 to 16 inches. Before we started, before our drought, this was a planned stockpile that was going to be about 2 feet. And so instead of cutting our hay and baling it, we were just going to leave it and then they could come through and graze it. And so that's what we're doing. It's not as much as we had hoped, but this is what we have. In doing that, we've noticed, you want to come over here to the poop?
Yep. Now this is where this paddock looks adjacent to where they are now. What is this right here?
So this is what we have grazed yesterday.
Yesterday.
So this was just a 12-hour, probably 12 to 17 hours that they were on this paddock, and you can see the difference in the length and the severity of it. So here we have a perfect example of our poop. So this is a pile of poop that has a pretty good amount of protein. It's kind of like a splat, and it's a good amount of protein in this poop, and that's what we want. Protein obviously makes the cows grow, and so that's what we're looking for. So that's good poop that we don't need to make any amendments or adjustments with. This over here, however, is a very fibrous poop.
What does fibrous mean?
So that it has less protein in the grass, and that therefore they're getting less protein.
Okay, so how do you know that that's fibrous? Why do you say that?
Because just the way it's...
The layers?
Yeah, the layers in it. And how it's not, it's just layered.
Okay, so the runny stuff that looks like a splat, that's more protein, and...
That's what we want.
That's what we want. And somewhere in the middle is probably ideal, and then that's too fibrous with all of the layers. So what do we have to do?
So you kind of have to assess all the poop from all the herd. You might just have one cow that overgrazed one area, or they got some grass that's less protein in it. But when the majority of your piles are looking fibrous, then you might have to add in. And so what we'll do is we'll go buy a protein tub that they can just kind of lick on, and then they can kind of self-regulate the protein that they need.
A protein tub, like what? You mean like a block like this one?
No, it's an actual green basin tub. And you just set it in there, and they, just like it's free choice, we give them free choice mineral blocks and free choice salt and garlic blocks. And our soil is very low in, phosphorus, and so we have a block for that. And so we'll just put that out, and they can free choice their protein.
Okay, good. So not on the subject of poop or grass, I see that we have some gourds in there, some pumpkins. What are they in there for?
So the sheep love them. They're a good natural dewormer, and just kind of an added cleansing, if you will, for the herd.
Okay, great. So this is where they were yesterday. This is where they are today, and then tomorrow and the next day, and so on. It's kind of hard to see from this angle the length of the grass. It's more substantial out there as we go forward, and we'll keep you guys updated. Say bye, third. Okay guys, now here we are at the chicken coop, and we've talked about the chickens and the impact that the chickens make. They follow the cows and they scratch through the manure and they get the larvae out of the manure, and then we have less flies, right? And I wanted to show you a perfect example of what that looks like and how they impact.
Here's a pile of poop. It was a pile of poop that they just came through and completely spread out. This was a formed pile like we saw in the last video, and now it's just all spread out. You can still see some remnants of the sheep droppings, but this was a pile of poop that they've just scratched through.
Yeah, there's another one over here too, right? And so what they do is they scratch through it with their feet, and they pick out whatever larvae and bugs or whatever that they can out of there, and then that spread pile decomposes and acts as a fertilizer, right?
There's some more over here.
Right, ladies? Yeah, there's another one right there. So they did a good job cleaning that up. Yeah, they're cleaning that whole field. Those are the guinea hens over there. They're the noise makers, remember? They're the ones that kind of protect everyone else. They're the snake fighters. There's what? They haven't gotten to this one yet, right?
No, but you can see in it.
Yeah, you can see the bugs in it, right? So that's what the chickens scratch through, and then they get the bugs out of there. It sounds pretty gross, but this is what birds do. This is what chickens do. And after they get all the life out of there, they'll have that spread out.
See the dung beetle?
And it'll be...
That's money right there.
Yeah. Wait, here they come. They see it. Here, back up a little.
You've got it.
So we're about to see an example of how they scratch through it.
See the larvae, John? See that right there?
Yeah. That's what's going to be flies. Here, if you'll back up a little, you're about to see an example of how they scratch through it. There we go, see? They spread that out. You guys eat your eggs daily.
So this is a perfect example. There's a big movement in our country and the world, I guess, where we think that we can't eat the animals, we don't need the animals. And this is a perfect example of how the animals take something that we as humans couldn't ingest, and they consume it and they turn it into the proper nutrients, proteins, acids, all the things that we need in a perfect form in their meat. So these animals are both helping the environment by breaking down this manure. Here's an old cow patty that was never broken down, that wasn't aerated, that just sat there, and it sits here and the grass can't grow through it, nothing can come up through it. So we need this process in order to support the earth. And so these chickens are all coming through. Look at them. They're breaking it down. So they are benefiting the earth, the health of themselves, the egg production, and then what we will consume. And so it's just a beautiful relationship that goes full circle.